Welcome to Bedtime Confessions. In today's episode of Bedtime Confessions, I want to talk about a very, very important topic, which is victim mindset. The victim mindset is a mindset that's very easily to fall into whenever you're not happy about your life. But that victim mindset can be very detrimental to your overall life. Not only to your mindset, to your health, but especially to your social circle. So, I want to dive into what is a victim mindset, and then I'll give you the step-by-step strategy so that you can get rid of your victim mindset once and for all and start embracing the person that you actually want to be without having to complain about it and whine about it. Because whining is not sexy. And we want everyone to be sexy. That should be a slogan. But anyways. Okay, let's first establish what a victim mindset is. So for me, in my own personal definition, and not at all scientific or researched, so please, if you want actual proof of what a victim mindset is, please Google it because I don't have time for it. A victim mindset is basically where you tie all of your misery onto external factors. So that means that everything that's going wrong in your life is because of everything else and not yourself. So that means that you're basically always complaining. You're always whining. You're always trying to find validation. You're always thinking about how everything else is not working and how you have it so badly that you should be considered as a victim. So then that means that you're talking to other people and you say statements like, oh, I didn't have enough sleep last night because my roommate just was making so much noise in the kitchen. Or, oh, I didn't get that job because I guess they didn't think I was good enough. But then actually you didn't really put effort into your resume. Or, oh, why is everything bad happening to me? Statements like those, where it's like, it's very obvious that you're not taking any of the blame and you're attributing all of that blame on external factors for why you're so miserable. And that's not good. Because let me tell you, from me being a victim mindset, I hated being in the victim mindset because it made me feel so miserable. I would feel so negative all the time. I would be angry at people for no apparent reason because everything was really my fault. And I would constantly live in this mindset that overanalyzed everything because I was trying to find the issue out there in the wild rather than inside here. So if you feel like this is kind of where you're at right now, where you feel like you're not really taking responsibility for your own action or for your own misery or for your own current circumstances that you're not happy with, then let's dive into the steps of how to step out of that victim mindset and reclaim a mindset where you can see that what you're doing is because of your own decisions. And let's start creating a mind where you feel comfortable pushing yourself and being happy to live, just to live, and not being in that victim mindset, but being in charge of your own life. So there was a little bit of rambling. Did not know if that made some sense, but let's dive into the first step. The first step in any problem is to first be aware. So we want to actually acknowledge that you are playing the victim. Try to observe how do you come off in your day-to-day life and try to notice that mindset and behavior of victim mindset. For example, observe if you're not taking action and the excuses that you're giving yourself is because, oh, I didn't sleep well enough last night, so I'm not going to do that. Or, oh, they didn't even give me time of day, so I'm not going to do that, blah, blah, blah. So try to observe yourself from a more objective point of view and try to see where and when are you actually showing up as a victim. Because being aware of being a victim is going to help you a lot to identify the triggers, the patterns, when are you in that victim mindset, and what is actually triggering all of those behaviors. So first step is to acknowledge that, yes, right now I'm in the victim mindset. I don't like it. Let's change it. And then try to start noticing some of the behaviors that are tied to that victim mindset. So complaining, negative thinking about others, blaming, finding excuses, gossiping about others and how they're not improving in their lives, but then you're not either. So hypocrite, right? So all of these negative behaviors that are tied to a victim mindset. First, acknowledge them. Make sure that you have a record of what you're analyzing. Write it down in a journal or on your phone, in your notes app, wherever, but keep a record of things that you're noticing so that in stage 2, we can analyze what you're complaining about. Because that will be our biggest indicator of what you're not happy about in your life. Are you complaining about your love life, that you're not finding anyone to date and that, you're not attracting whoever you want to attract? Are you complaining about your career, not having a good job, not being paid enough, or feeling undervalued at work? Or are you burned out? Whatever it is, we need to figure it out. Are you unhappy about your own health or appearance? Why? What do you want to look like? Like, start analyzing what are you complaining about, and so we can determine exactly what you're unhappy about. Because if we know the root cause of your victim mindset, like what is triggering you to be so unhappy, to complain so much, or to gossip, what is it that you're so miserable that you refuse to put actions towards? So we need to figure that out. So first step was to observe your behavior. So second step, we analyze that behavior and we try to pinpoint what it is that you're unhappy about. So that's step 2, okay? And honestly, I'm going to tell you the truth. It will feel hard. I'm not saying that these steps are easy. They're hard, especially if you're not really a self-aware person, or you're just starting into your self-awareness journey, or even just the fact that you have an ego, and that means that usually we don't want to admit our own flaws. And that means that maybe we might try to push them aside because we don't want to feel insecure. But now is the time to be honest. Because if you're not honest with yourself, how can you be honest with anyone else? And if you're not willing to see your own flaws, you'll never be able to grow and improve. And the thing is, like, being in the victim mindset is not sustainable. And it's so annoying for other people. So start opening your eyes, and even if your ego is trying to push you away, say, no, I'm done with this. Let's figure it out. Start opening your eyes to how you truly behave, and stop excusing your behavior, and stop being complacent with how you show up in the world. Because you need to see the truth for what it is so that you can improve and become a better person for yourself and for other people. So once you figure out what you're not happy about in step 2, we need to understand what we want out of life. So what are you trying to work towards? What is the identity of the person that you would thrive in? Like, what does it look like? Is she a corporate genius? Is she an entrepreneur? Is she athletic? Is she... I don't know. But just come up with the identity that you want to be. So basically, you want to figure out what your highest self would look like. And then in step 3, we get to work. So that means that we need to work on mindset, on health, on all the areas of your life that you're unhappy about, and start improving. And usually when it comes to victim mindset, it's mostly about mindset and beliefs. So start working on your limiting beliefs. Start working on your inner monologue. How do you talk about yourself? How do you talk about others? Start working on your confidence, your self-esteem, your limiting beliefs, your mindset, so that you can pivot from a victim mindset to a positive mindset. And that could take so many different shape and form. It could be therapy. And if you can't afford therapy, journaling every day until you figure it out. Setting personal goals so that you can move forward towards the person that you want to be. Start setting a strategy for yourself, a plan for yourself, so that you can move out of that victim mindset and take the things that you're unhappy about that you figured out in step 2 and work on them in step 3 so that you can remove them from your life and remove that misery from your life so that you are not in that victim mindset anymore. But in step 4, the goal is to remove any negative self-talk and any negative influences. So that means that if you surround yourself with other people that are also in the victim mindset, it will be so easy to fall back into that victim mindset because all you're hearing is people yapping in your ear about how they're complaining, about how they're unhappy, and then it'll make you want to complain, and also it'll make you so much more miserable. Because if you surround yourself with people that are pessimistic, how can you have an optimistic view of the world? Because all you're hearing all day is like, oh, this world is awful. Oh, I don't have enough money. Oh, blah, blah, I'm not where I want to be. Blah, 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 blah. And then all you're hearing is that negative self-talk. So naturally, your brain is going to use that as fuel for your thoughts, and you're going to start thinking like all those negative people. So if you have a circle that is very negative and very victim mindset oriented, then try to find influences in your life that are more positive and that you can shift your attention toward those people a little more than those negative people. Because those negative people will hold you back. And yes, I'm not saying to cut them off if they're precious to you, if they're close friends or whatever. Don't cut them off. It's just give them a little less attention and start focusing on positive influences. Because let me tell you how big of a difference it makes. The second you start thinking more optimistic or surrounding yourself around optimistic people, your life and your mindset will change because your brain is so easily influenced and you have no idea how. Because your subconscious is always filtering in information. It's grabbing all the information everywhere. So online, what you're reading, what you're watching, what you're listening for music, everything gets into your brain. If you can hear it, if you can see it, it's going inside your brain. So that means that your brain is going to use that content to filter and to create your mindset. And then it will shape how you see the world, how you talk about the world, how you talk about yourself. So start filtering the content that you see, the people that you surround yourself with, the people that you talk to because they matter. They really, really matter. And you'll see the shift in the matter of days, even weeks or month. It might take longer, but you'll see the shift of how powerful someone else's negative mindset can influence yours. But we want you to shift out of that, from a negative victim mindset to a positive, optimistic mindset. And it is possible. It might take time, but it is possible. And let me tell you, it's so worth it because you will be so much happier for it. So do the work. Do the work. And then last step is just to monitor your mindset and to repeat. So that means that every day you just start it slow. You don't have to shift everything from 1 to 180. The goal is to every day observe, analyze what you're unhappy about, do the work, therapy, journaling, personal goals, whatever it is, whatever your strategy is. Remove those negative influences, shift to positive content, and then monitor and then repeat. It's just a cycle. And then at the beginning, it might feel like there's a lot to cover. But then as you go through the weeks, through the days, you'll feel like there's less and less to declutter from your brain, and it will feel so much easier. And again, I love repeating myself. The victim mindset is not a mindset that you want to keep, and the work that you will do to get out of it is so worth it. Because if you're not spending your entire life or your entire day thinking about how miserable you are or how bad you have it, then you can start thinking about all the dreams you can accomplish. Because all of that time ruminating about yourself, ruminating about what you don't have and what you wish you had, is just time wasted that you could invest into building the life that you actually want. And please start realizing that we only have one life. And yes, we have so much time in this life. But at the same time, why would you want that dream life to come sooner instead of pushing it back day after day because you feel too uncomfortable dealing with your negative mindset that you stay stuck in where you are and staying stuck in that misery? I don't wish that for you. I don't wish that for anyone because I know how painful it is to live in the victim mindset and to feel like the world is so horrible to you. But it's not. It's you. You're choosing that misery for yourself. Everyone has control over their life. You are the person in control and you are the one who is making all the decisions. You have to consistently take decisions that are moving you towards your dream life and that are aligned with who you want to be. So anytime you're presented with a decision, you need to think, is this going to make me happy? Is this in line with who I want to be? Is this not harmful to people around me, not harmful for me? And if the answer is yes, then you take that decision. If the answer is no, then reconsider. Because you never want to move towards misery. You want to move towards happiness and towards fulfillment. So I'm going to leave it at that because I know victim mindset is a heavy topic. And if you need a more detailed strategy on how to actually move from victim mindset to a positive mindset, I can make a more in-depth video. I know this was just very general advice, but if you need more details, then let me know. I would be happy to do that video for you and bring some of my own strategies and some of my journaling to show you that I was once in that victim mindset and I'm now out of it. And I want to add that if you're looking for a community that is positive, because right now you don't feel like you have anyone in your circle that can give you that positivity and optimism and encouragement to be better, then join Quest Club in the link in my description. We are a community where we share our wins, we support each other, we share gratitude, and we're there for each other in terms of personal growth. So if you want to be a part of a very, very optimistic community, then join Quest Club in the link in my description, and I will see you there. So, have a good night, and thank you again for watching this week's Bedtime Confessions, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye!